Hello, this is the first edition of M&M Productions, and today we're bringing to you how to plant garlic. Now, before we start, I want to explain the two different types of garlic. There's a soft neck garlic, there's a hard neck garlic. Very similar in nature. The hard neck typically has a little bit more flavor, a little more spiciness to it, and the soft neck is probably one of the more popular ones. They both have to go through a process called vernalization, and that's when the temperature drops down in the wintertime, and that enables the garlic to form cloves. Very important that we do that. That's why I plant mine in the fall. Now, if you plant it in the spring, you can always use the refrigerator to replicate that process, but I think it's better to do it in the fall. Our first step is going to be to till the soil from our previous garlic bed from last year. You can see the garlic's already been harvested, and it's middle of October, so we're going to start planting that. Bed prepared. Soil for garlic is really important. A lot of people say you need 12 to 14 inches, but you can do it with 6 or 8 inches if the soil's really high quality. You can see this, it's got a lot of organic matter in it, and that's from years of constantly putting compost in with this, along with manure, and usually from horses. Just keep mixing it in and kind of replenish it each year, and you'll have some great soil. We're going to talk about the garlic now. This is a garlic bulb from last year that I'm going to use to plant. Now, this is important for you first-time garlic planters, because you can't go to the store and buy garlic and then plant it in here, because most garlic growers will spray their garlic with a growth inhibitor, and that prevents it from sprouting while it's in the store or in your house. So it doesn't do well here. So initially, you need to go to a online garlic store or a local store that sells garlic and get that. Now this is a soft neck. It's a Transylvania. It was actually found and discovered by a farmer in Eastern Europe. And while it's a soft neck, it's really flavorful. It's very spicy. It has a lot of similarities with the hard neck. And I plant this, like I save 5 or 6 of these each year and replant in the fall. Now, the nice thing about that is after you get your first initial planting, use this because it's acclimated to the soil you planted it in. It'll actually do better. And that way you don't have to go back and buy it. Plant enough to where you can always have enough to plant in your garden the following fall. And what we do is we just break this apart into individual cloves. Leave the skin on. And that's what we're going to plant. I like to plant the bigger ones, keep the smaller ones for eating later, but the bigger ones seem to produce bigger bulbs each and every year. Make our rows here for the garlic. This garlic's going to be planted about 2 to 3 inches deep, 4 inches apart. And I like to space the rows about 12 inches. Size 12 feet, so that works out pretty good. And it works out really good for me. If you get one that has the paper that's fallen off and you got this smooth skin of the garlic, I just take it up to the kitchen and eat it. I wouldn't plant that. I don't think it's going to do too good. So there's our first row. Okay, we've got it watered in the first time. That's usually only have to do it once, unless there's a really, really dry fall and winter. Then you want to come down and keep it fairly moist. I like to use straw as a mulch. Very beneficial. It keeps the weeds down, so you don't have to weed it as much. It keeps the moisture in, and then it eventually works itself in as compost in the ground, helping to keep things loose for the soil. It's a great product to use. It's a headache to go out and buy and to put down, but it's well worth the effort. Okay, this is our finished product. We've got the straw down between the rows, and again, help keep the moisture in, help keep the weeds from growing up, and very beneficial to the soil over the long term. It really adds a lot of nutrients and it keeps the soil loose when it decays. And probably in about a week or so, we'll start seeing little sprouts come up. Again, during the fall and the winter, try to keep it moist if there's a lack of rain. But once it gets about 6 or 7 inches tall, it's pretty maintenance free. It's going to go through the winter and probably be able to harvest this June time frame. And when you harvest it, probably about 30 or 40% of the leaves will be dying down. And that's when you want to go ahead and get in there, test one of the bulbs to make sure that you've got nice size clothes on it, dig it up, and you want to store it in a garage or someplace to let it cure for about 2 weeks. And then I take mine downstairs in a lower level and keep it where there's no light and no humidity. Very, very dry, cool conditions. And I've had this last up to 8 or 9 months. But you have to follow those steps. Cure it, then leave it tied up in a dry, cool area with low humidity. And if you do that, it'll last a long time for you. So look, I hope you enjoy your garlic. Tune in next time for the second edition of M&M Productions, and we'll bring another gardening tips to you.